Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of Hawkeye Bassin. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and if you guys haven't seen my video I posted about an hour before this one, we upgraded big time with our filming equipment, so I hope you guys can tell the difference. We upgraded big time too. Not just a little upgrade, a huge upgrade to the A5100. This is a Sony. It's a really familiar camera for me because I've seen a lot of people use these before, including some big YouTubers I'm sure you guys know, such as like John B, AP Bassin. They've used these cameras before. I think they've gone a little bit up from there, but some of them might still be using these. It's a super nice camera, and I'm really glad to be able to provide you guys better quality footage that is not just all from the GoPro. So today, we're going to be doing something that is going to save you guys some money, especially if you're a big river fisherman, you lose a lot of jigs like myself, guys. We're going to be painting some jig heads today. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. It's super easy, and how you can save yourself a lot of money and make some really cool color combinations of jigs. You can make your own custom jigs, and it's really cool. So we'll dive into the kind of paint I'm using today, guys. It is powder paint. I'm not too familiar with the different brands, different companies that make these, so I've kind of stuck with the two brands that I started with. That is the Protec powder paint. This stuff is some good stuff. You can get this at like Bass Pro, Sportsman's Warehouse. A lot of your big outdoor stores will carry this. And some paint that this is the first one I ever had. This is TJ's Tackle powder paint. Now this is some pretty good stuff as well. And we got a few different colors on here. We got some watermelon purple flake. We got some silver glitter. We have some green chartreuse, and then like you saw earlier on the Protec here, this is just straight up pink. So let's get into this, guys. I'll kind of show you the little contraption I have down here that helps me do this, and we'll show you how to do it for yourselves, guys, and where you can kind of get some of this stuff in order for you to do it by yourself as well and save some money and make some awesome jigs. All right, guys, so the first step into painting your jig heads is obviously get some jigs. Now, I've painted probably 1,000 jigs, so I don't have any of the good, just traditional round style jigs. So I'm using some of these jigs today. It's kind of a long hook. I'm not really sure what these jigs are for. If you guys can tell me what are these jigs for? I got them like in a clearance rack somewhere. I think it might work good for maybe like a tube, a big bass tube or something. So the first thing you want to do, and guys, I got to preach safety here. Please do this under adult supervision if you are a kid. And if you're an adult, still practice a lot of safety precaution, because I've almost burned myself like 2 times. The way I do it is I use a little blowtorch, and you should wear gloves. If I was doing small jigs, I'd be wearing gloves because these do get hot, but since this is such a long shaft hook, I think I'll be okay with that jig. So basically for this is a 1/8 ounce size. You want to give it about 1.5 seconds on each side of the blowtorch, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put it in this contraption. Now basically what this is this is hooked up to a kind of an aquarium air pump, and you pour your powder paint in here. And now there's basically like a coffee filter in there at the bottom, and you turn this on, and that basically creates a lot of air inside of the powder, so it moves freely, almost like water. We'll show you guys that in a second, but first we're going to plug this bad boy in and make sure that you have this secured on the table. You don't want someone coming by, tripping on the cord, and knocking this over. So if you take the camera down here real quick, you'll see, if we lose our lights again, you'll see that it is bubbling. And look at that. It literally looks like water, guys. It's the craziest thing. I don't really know how this works. All that is this Protec powder paint, guys, in this air. There's a little adjuster down here. You want to get that all the way up. Allow some max air. So this will basically keep powder kind of free flowing, keep it moving, so you're not getting, a bunch of gunk on your hook after you lift them out of the powder paint. So basically what you want to do, and be careful, guys, lead will melt off here really quick, and if that gets on you, your clothes, it can start a fire, it can burn you really bad, so you got to be very careful, guys. So I recommend wearing gloves if you're going to do this yourself. So we'll get this started here. We definitely don't need it that high. You don't need a ton of heat. You can also do this with the kitchen lighter. It just takes a little longer. So we're going to go about 1.5 seconds on each side. Okay, you get that? You're going to dip it down the powder paint, swish it around for a minute, lift it out, and look at that, guys. See how glossy that is? That is crazy. It worked so well. I was so surprised how this worked the first time I did it. So there is the this is a pink. It's kind of purple right now, but when it dries, it will turn more pink. So it's pretty much as simple as that, guys. So I'm going to unload the paint on here and kind of show you the whole process now. I think we're going to switch to let's try some of the watermelon purple flake, which will be a great color for Ned heads and, shaky head jigs, which I plan on doing. And you can do all those by yourself at home with the right materials, the right paint. So we'll change this out real quick and we'll get back to you. Alright guys, so we're going to kind of show you from step 1 to the end. I kind of did this in reverse order, but we basically emptied all of the paint that you saw in the last clip there, and we're going to try some of the watermelon purple flake. Now what we're going to use this for would probably be like net heads, shaky head jigs, and some bass jigs too. I plan on doing some of those, so this would be a good color for that. It's going to be a little darker color. So you can see, guys, it's literally just powder. And now how this really works, from my understanding, well, it's pretty easy to figure out. You get this lead super hot, you stick it into that powder, and it basically sticks itself onto there and melts onto there and hardens really good. Now, another thing you can do is when you're done painting these, you can put them in the oven. I would prefer to do it in a little small toaster oven, put it at 350 and cook it for, I think, not cook it.
You've got no chance of cooking that.
Okay, so basically you bake them for about 8 minutes, I think, but I will link below kind of the times and the directions how to do this for you guys and how to buy one of these. I'll put all those links in the description. It's a pretty cheap setup. These cans usually cost like $7 to $8, so, and they can paint probably 500 to 1,000 jigs, so it's a really good deal. So basically what you want to do is make sure this is unplugged. You don't want to pour this in there while it's plugged in. Powder's going to shoot everywhere. So I got this turned off, got it cleaned out. I'm going to put about probably a quarter of this in there. Once I said it once again, guys, that once that air is turned on, this will really bubble up a lot, so you don't want to put a ton in there, just enough to cover that jig head. So I got that in there. I'm going to plug it in. Once again, guys, check that out. Come check this out. So look at that bubble up. I got my little adjuster down here. I'm going to let a little more air in. Alright, so once again, guys, you can see that that's kind of watery. It's really crazy how this works. Once again, we're going to get our blowtorch and get these kind of crazy jigs. I really want to know what these jigs are, guys, so let me know if you know what kind of jigs these are and what they're used for. Once again, you don't need a ton of heat, guys, especially with these smaller jig heads. And for an 1/8 ounce, I usually do about a 2.5 on each side, but do not overdo it, guys. If you underdo it, it'll just be, you'll see it'll look powdery on the outside. But if you overdo it, lead is going to melt off. And I actually have a clip, I'll probably put in a blooper video the first time I did this, where I almost got burned by it. But so 1, 2, quick 2 seconds, 1, 2, take that, swish it right down in there, swish it around a couple times, pull it out. Whoa, look at that, baby. That turned dark quick. Let's see if, I don't know if you can really tell the color on that, guys, but this is going to be a darker color. So like I said, this will be good. Net head, shake head, stuff like that. You can definitely see the flake in there. So that's pretty cool, and that's basically how it's done. Now you want to keep something beside you, like a piece of styrofoam, a cardboard box, and you kind of just hook it on there, let it dry, let it cool. It doesn't take too long to cool. Probably I'd give it a minute or two, and then you'll literally be ready to go. And now you don't have to bake them like I was saying earlier, but if you want a little more durability, some added durability, bake them for, I think it's 350 to 8 minutes, but I will link the correct times and everything below for you guys who are interested for doing that. So we'll paint a couple more here real quick. I can show you guys kind of how fast you can get this done once you get good at it. I am by no means a professional, but I've done quite a bit now. Once again, 1, 2, 1, 2, dip, swish, come out, done. Just like that, guys. So you can see it smoking a little bit, so I'm probably leaving it in there a little bit too long. Now we have a box sticking, we got a little box on there. You just go right on the next one. 1, 2, 1, 2, dip, swish, come out. Perfect, Pam. I mean, these are coming out just absolutely perfect, guys. Stick that in your cardboard box. Move on to the next one. 1, 2, 1, 2, dip, swish, come out. Perfect. So you guys can see how easy this is to do this, and you can save a lot of money. You can get bulk orders of these, and you can save a lot of money in the long run, guys. And I'm definitely gonna be doing it from now on. Quick 2 seconds on each side, dip down, come out. Perfect jig once again, guys. So thank you for coming to this episode. I hope you guys learned a little bit. I hope you guys get into doing this because you can save a ton of money, and it's actually kind of fun. It's kind of a fun little hobby to do. So until next time, guys, we'll see you later.